Hey guys, it's Hegemony here, and I wanted to go over the Atziri fight. We did a couple attempts on her yesterday. I did it with a friend of mine, Korean gamer, and basically we just siphoned all the information we could have on the internet and consolidated it like a list or guideline, and then went into it, with not too much of experience. I mean, it was all new to us. But I'm going to go ahead and replay some of the footage, and I'm going to talk about it, talk about the boss mechanics to help you combat and understand the way the fights work. So the first fight, for the most part, the trash is nothing spectacular. They're just magic monsters with spark, shock stacking, and some projectiles. It's nothing hard or difficult. Anybody can probably do it. If you're able to handle 70 maps, then yeah, the trash is negligible. So this leads us into the first gateway, and Jesus, my fucking phone. Alright, so we go into the first room, which is Veil, and it starts out with both apexes, or both pyramids that summon Veil. And the important thing to note is they mimic each other's abilities. Not one, the other is not different than the other, and they do the same, or they're linked, so that if you kill one, the other one enrages. And by enrage, I mean haste. So you want to kill them at the same time. Overall, this seemed to be the easiest of them all. Um, you can combat it with very good spell block, either lightning warp or and just general decent DPS. It's no different than fighting double veil in a regular boss, with the exception of ball lightning. So we go in. I'm running discipline, wrath, and he's running discipline and hatred. So I'm using Sapphil's frame because it maxes out my spell block. So I took off Tempest Shield because Tempest Shield doesn't add anything. I'm already spell capped without Tempest Shield. So we're gonna go ahead and proceed. I curse with Enfeeble on the boss, and he has Enfeeble on hit. So whenever he gets struck, he curses the boss with Enfeeble also. So this is gonna help mitigate some of that ball lightning. Pretty much the only threat is that spell right you see right there, and with good spell block and 80 all res, it's pretty much a joke. I can run into it. I'm pretty sure I can shotgun into it with my stats and be perfectly fine. So the boss definitely spawns ample amounts of ads so that you can feed off of power and frenzy charges with power siphon. So overall, I didn't need to swap here. Right here, you just see me run through this shit. You just gotta watch out for veil slams. The HP isn't too ridiculous, even within people. Obviously, with crit weak, we would burst them down very, very fast. So one of them gets really low, and we say stop DPS on this, stop DPS. Oh, actually, they're both low. So pretty much, very easy fight. Tools that I would recommend is Sapphil's frame, because everything that's a threat is all spell, and yeah, that's pretty simple, straightforward. Now we're gonna go ahead and fast forward to the second boss, which is the trio. So this fight is all about physical mitigation. On top of that, lots of bleeds, lots of physical degens. So you're going to want to be prepared with puncture flasks, staunchings. So I would recommend probably 2 granites, actually probably 3 granites that remove staunching, removes bleed, and then maybe 2 sprint flasks. You guys can see. Okay, so we look at this bitch. This bitch does the corrupted blood. Titty bitch spawns, or she does that little EK looking, I don't know, tri arrow thing, and then she does the rain of ice looking thing that does chaos damage, and then she has spikes that rain down. She is by far the most threatening mob. I was told and recommended that we do kill this girl first, and then the titty bitch, and then this guy. So the mechanic with this boss is once you kill one, the others gain abilities, and So the kill order that we did, we noticed that the boss gained black goo, and that black goo is like a constant physical degen. It's not chaos damage. I am CI, so if it was chaos damage, I would be immune to it. Um, as you can see, I did forget to switch flasks here. I didn't swap into my staunchings, and you'll see me pay for it, or I'll get really low because I didn't have it, and then I'll make a swap. But yeah, that's a very bad mistake you can make and end up, in your death. So I strongly recommend something like Immortal Call. Immortal Call Enduring Cry is going to be very, very strong for this, seeing as how almost everything is physical with the exception of chaos damage. I felt like, after doing this boss 3 times or, a couple times, damage did seem to be better. Like if you could choose, I would put Crit Weak over Enfeeble on the other 2 ads, but for the titty bitch, this bitch, Enfeeble definitely seemed to be the right choice. She is very, very, very threatening. For the most part, when you get 5 or 6 corrupted blood stacks, I do recommend you clear it. That's when the degen starts to hurt a lot, unless your leech is insane and you're, constantly on top of the mob. Okay, so yeah, when you kill this one, the others will spawn black clouds, which will degen you, and then when you kill the titty bitch, she's gonna spawn portals that will spawn even more titty bitches. And the cyclone guy, his cleave area will get bigger and bigger, and he'll just continue to cyclone and cleave. That's pretty much all he does. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and watch. In this setup, I was using Tempest Shield with blind, so that if I did get hit by titty bitches, they would get blinded and pose less of a threat. I did originally run Grace, but we found that damage was favored over mitigation and overall defense, because you can get outrun or outswarmed by the amount of titty bitches. Let's go ahead and watch the fight. I'll pause it when there's something notable to say. So mobility. Okay, so that spike supposedly where she just shot up into the air, it looked like rain of arrows. Supposedly that is chaos damage, and she does these a different kind of rain of spikes. You'll see it soon. That should be chaos. Okay, so you see those rains right here? This shit hurts like a motherfucker. I have 7k armor as CI. Okay, so yeah, I did get rained on like that, and I took 0 damage because I'm CI. But that is the #1 thing you need to be careful of. I underestimated how much damage it did. So around, there's a lot of desync. Okay, so that cyclone guy doesn't hit too hard. Like he's cycloning through me. Granted, I have a lot of block. I am using Chayula on here, I think, because I didn't want to get stun locked. All right, here's the part where I get too many corruptions, and I realize that I didn't swap to the flask. And when you swap to these flasks, okay, so you see I have corrupted blood. I get really low, and I'm like, holy shit, I forgot to switch. I'm using Topaz Flask. And he stands in the cloud, and you saw his life get really low there. So if you do this in a duo, it's much easier, I think. I'm not sure on the DPS. I haven't tried this solo yet, but one person can take care of the ads while the other one lays into the boss that's remaining. So I'm switching out a puncture flask, trying to fill it up with some ads. I get it filled, so around here I think I get it filled with 1 charge. There you go. I got it, and the boss goes down. Overall, pretty easy boss. At my gear level and my level, wasn't too much. And now we are going to watch Atziri. So the main important things: avoid the rain of spikes. If you're HP base, try to avoid the chaos ice shard thing, and don't stand in black shit because you'll degen like crazy. Now I'm gonna unmute this portion. Actually, we have trash to clear. Alright, so we're gonna watch this once through, and then I'm gonna talk about it. Okay.
Alright.
So as soon as you zone in, you get
Ready?
a few seconds of free DPS. So we crit weaker off the bat, and it's important to note that when you curse her, notice that every curse gets reflected back to you, and that is because Atziri is using her Atziri's mirror. Atziri's this item. Every single one of her images or herself uses this mirror. So you have to bring warding flasks if you plan on cursing. You need to make sure that you bring enough curse reflection. Either rubies or granites or sprint. So I was the designated cursor. KG, he wasn't gonna, or he didn't have room or something like that. So I was okay with cursing her and then clearing it. So I generally, if I wasn't feeling a threat, I didn't ward it off the bat. But you see, as long as you move out of shit, the puncture that she does is actually very, very small amounts of physical damage. You could face tank the puncture for the most part, and you could run around, and you're not going to die like crazy. I honestly overestimated how bad the puncture was going to be. The flame blasts are more devastating. The storm calls are somewhat devastating.
Don't hit.
Okay, so she goes into a phase. Once you do enough damage, I think it's 25%. She spawns 4 statues of herself. One of them stays stationary, and I think you have to kill one of the active ones. So we always chose the puncture one. If you hit with a direct attack on the one with that's staying still, you will insta die.
Okay.
Wait till
And
you
I'll
see
show
the
you that
one
in
a different video. So in this case, if you were to touch this boss right here, you would die instantly, no matter what. If you have a jillion armor, doesn't matter. It's a one-hit death. So in a previous an attempt, KG, he was attacking this guy, and then he ran behind this way, and he still tried to attack this guy with like spectral throw. But a spectral throw initially hit this guy on its way to him, and he insta died in this corner. So I'm not using Chayula, and I'm having some problems warping with.
Oh my god! Don't die! Oh.
Okay, so we see the fire damage does, pretty significant. You can use lightning warp to get out of most shit. This shit is insane. This is one shot, and if you get ignited, you're dead, or for me at least. But lightning warp is viable. Okay, so one thing I did notice is that this hump right here, this bone pile hump, you cannot warp through, you cannot leap over, you can't whirling blades, so you have to like come out this way and then leap or warp or whatever. I feel like whirling blades is probably the strongest mobility move in this particular fight, because you can go really quick, whereas warp you're limited with range. If you get stunned, it's shitty. It's stunned during the cast. It's not as ideal. Alright, the ad phase. So there is a randomness to where the ads come from. As you can see in this particular instance, there's 4 corners. Top right, middle, like this. When I was soloing, I noticed that it can come in a straight line or in 3 directions. I guess if you add a person, it can come into 4. It's more likely to come in 4. So pretty much we delegated. I'll get the left side, you get the right side, and that's how we proceeded to clear these mobs. Oh, actually, there's another alcove where they're coming out of. So there's 5 total. Maybe it's 4. I think it. I'm not too sure. Overall, we did not have problems with this. As long as you have, good damage, good AOE damage. This is essentially the DPS check, because if an ad reaches her, she will heal. Okay, so I took the opportunity. This is pretty much your refill your flask phase. This is a good time to ward her and then remove your curse. It's like a free downtime period. If you need to swap gear, like a lot of people have been using Tabula Rasa as a swap to switch to like a Conk Effect Reeve, melee damage on full life, something like that, just to do explosive AoE damage to those ads so that they don't reach her. Yeah, going into this next phase, she's going to Storm Call, and then she's going to do the big Flame Blast.
Oh my god.
Alright, so we did so much DPS there while she was Storm Calling that we pushed her into the 50% next statue phase.
Watch. Blood Rage.
We wait. So I guess you could start DPSing early, but it was always kind of risky. So we just waited till we saw the puncture ad, and we just chose to focus fire that one.
Don't hit that one in the top left.
Yeah, so this guy, if you were to touch this guy, you would die, insta die. And I'm pretty sure any one of these are viable targets as far as taking them down and pushing the next phase. But I guess you have a 1 in 4 chance of fucking it up and dying. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm out of position.
It's okay, it's okay.
Right now I'm just trying to get my ES to regen. And you notice as a Wanderer that Wander is all about building up and ramping up your damage. I don't really have the opportunity to build power charges and frenzy charges with kills, except for the ad phase. So I'm using power charge on crit with my single target instead of crit damage. So you can see right there, I lightning warped next to this guy. I thought I was gonna die, but I guess the AoE splash does not count as direct damage, so therefore I did not die. Alright, so she's getting kind of low.
She almost died.
Alright, she goes
Nice.
down.
Oh fuck.
Oh, so he gets down to like 20% ES, really low.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Who saw that one, right?
Yeah.
AoE phase, refill them flasks. So if you're wondering, I was wondering on how much I'd be using these flasks and if I would be able to refill them. So I actually had Surgeon's flask ready.
We're doing so much better.
So just Storm Call. The main threat are these bubbles right there.
Man, I'm fucked.
See right there. I just fucking ate it. You get very, very little space and very little time to react. We'll watch that again.
Oh, she's really low.
Oh wait, shit. I think I passed it. Alright, so I'm like, holy fuck, And I guess I warped not just like out of range.
Oh man, I'm fucked.
I ate it.
Oh, she's really low.
She's gonna phase change.
Alright, don't fuck this up. One more time.
Okay.
This is the last statue phase.
Bottom.
So they're constantly, the 3 active ones, one is constantly storm calling, the other one's constantly puncturing, and the other one's constantly flame blasting.
Yeah, I got her. Yeah, I killed her.
Nice.
Okay, now she's gonna do like a huge ass fucking flame blast. Look at this shit. It's like I'm in fucking panic mode. I'm like, holy fuck, I'm dead. This is what I'm thinking right now. But I'm like, oh god, is there any room? Is there any room on the fucking screen? So I'm like, I tried to time it to see if my lightning warp would keep me in the air while that shit went off. So let's watch that one more time in slow motion. I'm just like, I'm done, man. It's all you. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Oh my god.
No, I think I killed her.
Oh yeah. Oh, we got
Oh,
the flask.
yeah.
Fuck.
Ah, ah.
All in all, it was a very
Let's
fun
see
and
this.
difficult fight. It's
I don't even
obviously
think that's worth that
easier
much.
for other kinds of
Oh, for
specs.
like 20x.
Like just
No?
going
I don't
full
know. I
out
doubt-
damage with like low life shafts, probably spectral throw, daggers. Not ideal for a wander. It is doable. Granted, I have very good gear, and I am level 100 on this tune. Um, but I wanted to say, as far as for this fight, I recommend you use three fire flask and 2 sprint flask. You don't really need the granites, as long as there is a staunching. I think 1 staunching is good enough. It's more about dishing the damage in the ad phase. The ad phase is definitely a damage DPS check. Um, as far as the what's it called? I think Enfeeble is best used when she does the 4 statue phase, where you can enfeeble all of them, because that's probably one of the most sketchiest phases where you have to dance the most and try to pump the deeps. Um, if you're melee, I imagine it's very frustrating just to get close. You probably need to go like Rise of the Phoenix, Purity of Fire, so you can just face tank those flame blasts, those smaller ones. And as far as mobility, pretty much everyone needs to move unless your gear is insane or your fire resist is like 85 plus. Safil's frame, for the most part, I feel like it's probably the most advantageous. However, it does lower my ES substantially. I think I was at like 6.96 K ES versus 9.1. So I was really willing to roll a dice there. And the extra physical block allowed me to block some of those puncture attacks, which is nice. She does have unwavering stance. She cannot be stunned, chilled, frozen, shocked. So the damage on her is going to be much smaller. Power charge on crit, I recommend. I probably, in hindsight, I probably should use like something like frenzy instead of power charge, power siphon. Frenzy plus power charge on crit would give me max charges with max frenzy and power charge. Is basically what I'm trying to say. So the first boss and second boss had no penalties for cursing. They don't reflect your curses back, so you can choose. For the most part, I think crit weakness is a safe bet. If you're squishy against lightning damage on Veil, then I would recommend you use Enfeeble, and you could probably, tank those lightning balls no problem. Overall, their HP pools were really low. They were not much of an issue. I think anybody can do it with decent amount of spell mitigation. And the second boss, Enfeeble on the Titty Bitch, I found to be the most helpful. Blind Tempest Shield combo also will help you when you get to have a lot of ads. Let's go ahead and watch some of the footage from the failed attempts before. To kind of see what happens when your DPS is not so good
Let's watch
and your
this.
partner
I mean, like, you
dies.
guys-
Okay, so we get to Atziri. And then he dies soon, I think. Oh, he dies to hitting the statue. Okay, so let's find that part where he dies. Okay, so he just died. Okay, so this is the ad that's this is the ad that you're not supposed to touch. You see Korean Gamer, he's over here at the top right. He's gonna roll this way to try to take the heat off of him. And then this is where he makes a mistake. He runs away from that flame blast, and then he attacks from right here. That right here is gonna hit this guy, and he's gonna keel over. One, boom. And
Don't hit that
oops, that's really loud.
one. Oh my god.
I didn't hit that one.
Yeah, you did. You went behind it and hit it.
So now we're gonna see what it looks like with one person, only running Wrath, and I'm using, I think, Enfeeble as a curse. So this ad phase is probably the sketchiest.
Fucking hit me.
So I got stunned right there, so my lightning warp got interrupted. So that's another reason why I don't think lightning warp is so great. You get hit by that puncture little attack, and it can cancel out your lightning warp, and that there it's over. Luckily, I managed to juke all the punctures, the remaining punctures to zone calls. So now I'm in good shape. But you can do this phase indefinitely. You just need, like, I just got stunned there too. I had the lightning warp set off, got interrupted. So unwavering stance, Chayula is probably a good idea. However, it does neuter your damage quite a bit.
Jesus.
So we're just seeing me do some practice runs and, you know, just ironing out this phase. It would have been better if I had crit weak instead of Enfeeble, because then I'd be able to blow her up. But you see, I get to this rhythm of like doing this dance down here, and it seems to be okay. I mean, you just can't really get greedy. When you get greedy is when you make mistakes and you get stunned or whatever. So now the ad phase. This is the problem phase. I couldn't keep up with the 2-man HP ads, and you're gonna see it heal the boss. She's at like 75% right now.
There's no way I'm gonna be able to keep up with 2-player HP ads.
So if your partner dies, unless you do insane amounts of DPS, it's gonna be very, very hard to keep up with this. Later on, I'll try something different. I'll switch to Hatred and run crit weak. I seem to do a lot better with that setup. That shit is like super sketch right there. It's just like lightning warp, not ideal. If you have a dagger, being able to warp is huge. Or whirling blades. But if you want to watch more of the footage of, you know, doing the wand action against Atziri, there's plenty more. I do this for about, you know, like 10 more minutes.
I did like 5% of her HP right there.
Yeah, plenty more footage for you to find in my previous broadcast.
Yeah, we're gonna have to switch this up.
I'm gonna go ahead and cut off the feed right here. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll probably do some more videos, and I'll probably end up doing this solo whenever I can get the fragments for cheap. They were quite expensive. I think we paid 8 exalts for a midnight. GGG said that they recently patched it to where they're more accessible, but I haven't seen the prices drop. I saw a couple of people selling midnights for 6 to 7 exalts the other day, but yeah, seems like they're like still 8 or 9, because I guess more people are figuring out how to do this boss or giving it a go, and so the demand to run these are higher. Let's see if I think one of these big flame blasts, I'm going to die, get ignited. I didn't have a dispel burn, so I didn't have a chance to get my ES back. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hit the follow button. Check me out on Twitch. I'm always doing informative videos and helping out the viewers. See you guys later. Thanks for watching.
Dude, you went right behind the statue and Spectro, and I was just like, I saw that shit happen.